Picture this. You're in a meeting, or maybe you're negotiating the price of a car, or even just asking your boss for a well-deserved raise. You make your request, and then nothing. Silence. The air in the room suddenly feels heavy, your heart starts to race, and every fibre of your being wants to say something, anything, just to kill that awkward tension. Most people cave in these seconds. They ramble, they lower their price, or they take back their request. But what if I told you that the silence isn't your enemy? It's your most lethal weapon. In a world that never stops talking, the person who can sit comfortably in a pause is the person who holds all the cards. We are biologically wired to fear silence because for our ancestors, a quiet forest usually meant a predator was near. But in the 21st century, the predators are bad deals and social pressure. Today, we're decoding the awkward pause, a survival skill that helps you win respect, protect your boundaries, and get exactly what you want without raising your voice. Stick around until the end, because I'm going to share the 5-second rule that top hostage negotiators use to get concessions that words alone could never buy. I'm Willow, and this is your modern survival guide. Let's count down the 8 ways silence changes the game. Number 8. The vacuum principle. Nature hates a vacuum, and so does the human brain. When there is a hole in a conversation, our instinct is to fill it. Most people view silence as a glitch in the social software, so they frantically try to patch it with words. In a negotiation, this is a fatal mistake. When you ask a question and then go silent, you create a psychological vacuum. The other person feels an intense, almost physical pressure to fill that space. And here is the kicker. When people are nervous and trying to fill a silence, they almost always leak information they didn't intend to share. They reveal their bottom line, they offer a discount before you even ask, or they admit to a weakness in their position. By simply doing nothing, you are inviting the other person to negotiate against themselves. You aren't being mean, you're just letting their own brain do the work for you. Silence is a magnet that pulls the truth out of people. If you can outlast their discomfort, you win. The first person to talk is usually the one who loses the lead. Number 7. The mirror of reflection. Silence isn't just a void, it's a mirror. When you stop talking, you force the other person to actually listen to what they just said. Most people spend their time in a conversation just waiting for their turn to speak. They don't actually process their own arguments. When you hit them with a silent mirror, their last sentence hangs in the air like a neon sign. If they just gave you a low-ball offer or a weak excuse, the silence makes that excuse sound even weaker. They start to hear the flaws in their own logic. You'll often see people start to backtrack or fix their statement without you saying a single word. They'll say something like, I could maybe do it for 10% less. Because the silence made their first offer feel unfair even to them. It's a way of holding them accountable to their own words. You aren't arguing, you're just giving them the space to realize they're wrong. It's the ultimate polite confrontation. Number 6, silence signals status. Think about the most powerful people you know. Do they talk fast and over-explain themselves? Usually, no. High-status individuals are comfortable with silence because they don't feel the need to prove their worth or seek approval. Lower-status behavior is characterized by nervous chatter. When we are desperate for someone to like us or agree with us, we talk more to fill the gaps and smooth things over. By choosing to be silent, you are non-verbally communicating that you are confident in your position. You are showing that you don't need their immediate validation to feel secure. This is a massive, modern survival skill because it changes how people perceive your authority. It tells the room that your words have weight, so you don't need to waste them. When you speak less, people listen more. You become the gravity in the room. The person everyone else is subconsciously trying to please. Quiet is the new loud when it comes to true influence. Number 5, the emotional buffer. Negotiations can get heated, voices rise, tempers flare, and things can get personal. Silence is the ultimate coolant for a burning conversation. If someone snaps at you or makes an aggressive comment, your lizard brain wants to snap back. That's the survival glitch, the urge to fight fire with fire. But if you respond to an insult with 5 seconds of calm, steady silence, you instantly de-escalate the situation. It's like throwing a wet blanket on a spark. Your silence forces the other person to sit with their own aggression. Usually, they'll feel a wave of social regret and try to soften their tone. By not reacting, you maintain your dignity and keep the conversation focused on the facts, not the feelings. You're not being a doormat. You're being a wall. Fire needs oxygen to grow, and your silence is a total lack of air. Keep your cool, stay quiet, and watch them settle down. Number 4. The wait technique. This is a tactical tool for when you've reached a stalemate. Sometimes, the best way to move forward is to stop moving altogether. In a negotiation, there's always a moment where both sides have stated their position and nobody wants to budge. Instead of offering a compromise immediately, which is what most people do, just wait. Count to 10 in your head. Look them in the eye with an upbeat, expectant expression. It signals that the ball is in their court and you're comfortable waiting as long as it takes. This patience play often leads to the other person breaking the tension by offering a split or a new concession that wasn't on the table before. They assume that if you aren't talking, you must have a plan B or you aren't worried. Your silence creates the illusion of a much stronger hand than you might actually have. Remember, he who can wait the longest wins. Number 3. Hearing what isn't said. When you are talking, you are only repeating what you already know. When you are silent, you can actually learn something new. Most people are so busy preparing their next sentence that they miss 50% of the body language, tone shifts, and hesitations of the person across from them. Silence gives you the processing power to become a human lie detector. You'll notice their eyes darting toward the door, or their hands fidgeting when they talk about the budget. These micro-expressions tell the real story of the negotiation. By being quiet, you're freeing up your brain to analyze these clues. You'll realize that when they said, "That's my final offer," their voice went up half an octave, a classic sign of a bluff. You aren't just being quiet, you're being a detective. The most important information in any deal is the stuff they aren't saying, and you can only hear it in the gaps. Number 2, the after-question pause. This is a specific tactical strike. When you ask a hard question, like, "How did you come up with that number?" don't follow it up with an explanation or a softener. Just ask the question and stop. Most people feel guilty asking a tough question, so they immediately try to make it nicer by saying, "I mean, if you don't mind me asking, or if you have the time." Stop it. That's your brain trying to escape the tension. By asking the question and then going totally silent, you force them to justify their position. The longer the silence lasts, the more justifying they feel they have to do. Often, they will talk themselves into a corner or admit that their number was just a guess. It's like a mental judo move. You're using their own momentum to flip the deal in your favor. It's not about being aggressive, it's about being precise. A question followed by silence is an invitation to be honest. Don't take it back. And the number 1 reason silence is your strongest tool, the final yield. This is what happens at the very end of a deal. There is almost always a moment of truth where the final agreement is reached. Most people get excited and start talking to close the deal, but this is the most dangerous time to speak. If you go silent at the very end, you give the other person the chance to give you one last sweetener, just to get the deal over with. They might throw in free shipping, an extra month of service, or a small bonus just to end the tension of the final handshake. In the world of high-stakes hostage negotiation, this is called the late-night DJ voice. You speak low, slow, and then you stop. It creates a sense of safety and finality. By being the last one to be silent, you ensure that you aren't leaving anything on the table. You've survived the noise, you've mastered the pause, and now you're walking away with a win. Silence isn't just a tactic, it's the sound of a deal well done. We've just turned silence into your greatest survival asset. From creating a vacuum that pulls out the truth to signaling your status without saying a word, You're now equipped to handle any negotiation like a pro. But as I promised, here is the 5-second rule to start practicing today. The next time someone asks you a question, even a simple one, like, "Where do you want to eat?" wait exactly 5 seconds before you answer. Just 5 seconds. Notice how it feels. Notice how the other person reacts. It will feel like an eternity at first, but that's just your social glitch acting up. By mastering the small pauses, you prepare your brain for the big ones. You'll realize that the world doesn't end when you stop talking. It actually starts listening. If you're ready to reclaim your quiet power, hit that subscribe button and join the Clever Clover tribe. I want to hear your silent success stories. Have you ever used a pause to get a better deal? Tell me in the comments. I'm reading every one of them. I'm Willow. Keep your cool, master the pause, and mind yourself. I'll see you in the next one.